Welcome back to Tales of the Getaway Guy, an adventure into 23 years of TV getaways all across New York State and beyond. Our travels will also venture into 23 years of radio days where my broadcasting career began. Hold on, I've got everything you're going to need for your next getaway. In today's getaway, we're going to be doing haunted getaways. Whoa! And they really are haunted getaways. These aren't the make-believe, the hay rides, or anything like that. This is the real deal. I'm Mike O'Brien, the Getaway Guy, and you may know me from TV land and radio days. Been doing this for 40-some years. Boy, my back just went out. Okay. So anyway, it's been an amazing ride. And for those 23 plus years on TV, Channel 9, every October, I did Haunted Getaways, and we called the segment Haunts. What a lot of people don't know, okay, I just felt like a cool breeze on my neck. Did you turn the AC on? That's one of the things that happens, things like that. But I'm going to take you to places that are legitimately, honest to goodness, haunted. I would do like months of research prior to October when we filmed the Haunts episodes. And I talked to so many people, and one person led to another. I talked to psychics, paranormal investigators helped us out on a lot of these shoots. And so today I'm going to take you to some of the places I went to and what happened behind the scenes, things that really weren't evident when you watched the show on TV, on cable channel 9. And the first one that kind of comes to mind that I did, well, I had a scary time there. It's a wine cellar. It's a winery on Seneca Lake. But before I do that, I want to thank our good friends at Powers Farm Market. They have done so much for us to make this possible. Talk about a great family getaway too nearby. Powers Farm Market, Marsh Road, Pittsford. They've been taking care of Rochester since the 60s with farm fresh fruits and vegetables and home baked goods. New York State apples, pumpkins, so much orange there right now. Christmas trees during the holidays. And of course, don't forget the fall fun for the kids, the haunted hay rides. And they're not really haunted. They're merry, not scary. Their new corn maze, live animals. And of course, the famous teepees. I dare you to go inside. My grandkids were just there. They went in, but they didn't come out. So I'm a little nervous. No, that's not true. Open every day from 9:30 a.m. this season. Powers Farm Market, Marsh Road in Pittsford. Good people, and thank them very much for being a part of our show as well. So Miles Wine Cellars is a winery on Seneca Lake. And here's the legend. A young couple apparently met their demise long ago in this beautiful old Greek-style mansion. And they are occasionally seen by people that actually come to the winery. So you go down this little roadway to the shores of Seneca Lake. And by the winery is off of Route 14 in Himrod. And people, not everyone, but some people pull in, and on the porch of this beautiful mansion, white mansion, beautiful giant pillars, they see this couple, a lady in white dress and a man with a black top hat, and they're standing there and they're watching you as you pull in. And people go inside and they say to the owners, so like, who's the couple out on the front porch? They were dressed in this, and they weren't there. They weren't there. There is not everyone sees them, but some people do. And so could it be that couple that met their demise there long, long ago? Also, when I was there filming, they pulled out from the back, the owner did, a photograph. And in the photograph, it was like a group photograph of everybody that worked there long ago. In the photograph, however, there are two people in the picture that really don't belong there. No one has ever seen them before, and they're part of the group photo. Miles Wine Cellars, if you dare. Their famous wine there is called Spirit. Of course it is. And it's just a fun place to go. The wine's delicious. You can do tastings there. They also have an inn upstairs. They open up like a little bed and breakfast, two rooms. And as a courtesy to me, they said, listen, we'd like you to, if you'd like to spend the night, just a little courtesy because of your doing the story. And I said, no, thank you. I'm not staying there. But I'll go there and taste the wine because it's really good. Miles Wine Cellars, good people, and great legendary tales. Before you head out to any of these getaways, if it's early in the morning, make sure you have breakfast first. And one place to go to is Jim's, another sponsor of our show. If you want a good breakfast cheap, you're going to find exactly that at Jim's, Main Street in Rochester, and Jim's at the mall, Grease Ridge Center, a family operation in Rochester serving up great diner food for years. Jim's on Main, just down from the Auditorium Theater, East Main Street in the city. It's a favorite local hangout. Personal favorite, the late riser, eggs, home fries, bacon toast. Weekdays, your coffee comes with it. I'm getting hungry talking about it. Jim's on Main, 785 East Main Street, downtown Rochester, and Jim's at the mall, Grease Ridge Center. Beardsley Castle is another haunted getaway I did. It was years and years ago. So the deal is 160 years of history and some legendary tales of ghosts and spirits. It's a great restaurant, by the way. They pack them in. People go out of their way. It's in Little Falls, and it's between Syracuse and Albany, off the New York State Thruway over on Route 5. And it's such a popular place, but there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that a lot of people don't know. And I did a story there. The story goes, in the early 50s, travelers along Route 5 reported seeing a blue light rushing out of their cars, chasing them down the road. Some say the ghost of Mr. Beardsley walks the grounds at night holding a lantern with a blue light. And I don't mean a beer. It's quite the place. And the castle is just so... It looks somewhat haunted. And at night, when I was there filming, I brought along a paranormal investigator and a psychic. They both picked up the exact same story that the owner told me in confidence to the side about what happened and what goes on there recently. It all conferred. Their stories matched up perfectly. And so that was a little creepy. So here's the story behind the scenes. I was there in this old Irish castle. It was 2011, I believe. And this is when I started to do my own photography for the TV show. So I was the photographer and the host of the show. I also edited the show. I should have asked for a raise in 2011, but I didn't. Joe's over here laughing at me, which isn't new. So I was there filming, and after everybody left, including the owner, I'm in this place in the dark by myself, and my closing shot was a dining room table with a candle lit, and I had it all storyboarded out, what I was going to do and say, and I set up my camera on my tripod, and I'm doing all of this stuff, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, this is getting creepy, because it's October when we filmed Haunts, of course, and it was getting dark early. And you're kind of out in the middle of nowhere on this 8-acre property, which is absolutely beautiful. During the day, at night, I'm hearing dogs howling. The wind is howling. The leaves are falling. And I'm getting goosebumps right now just thinking about it. It was creepy. And I finally got out of there, and I'm kind of rushing. You know, in the movies when they're rushing to the car and they can't find their keys, it's like, oh no, that's exactly what was happening to me. I couldn't find the keys. Finally, I unlocked the car to get my stuff in, and the door wouldn't open. So now I'm like locked out, and the dogs are getting louder, and it's getting creepier. And I was, honest to gosh, I was scared. I really was. So I finally get in the car, throw my equipment in the back seat of the news truck, and I got out of there like you can't believe. It was from a movie. And I'm sure I kicked up a lot of dirt and cinders, and it might have hit one of those dogs. I hope not. But so anyway, that was Beardsley Castle. So go there for a great dinner. Know that there's some great old folklore there. And it's a great haunted getaway for dinner and for some stories. You could probably do both. Beardsley Castle, Little Falls, New York, off the New York State Thruway, Herkimer vicinity. Another haunted getaway is the George Eastman House. A lot of people don't know this. Right in Rochester, the beautiful George Eastman House, one of our great landmarks. And by the way, if you live, I've met more people that live in Rochester, have for years, and have never been in the George Eastman House. It's an absolute wonder. And it's a wonderful place for people to go and to see some great history in Rochester. But the George Eastman House is also haunted. And they didn't first admit this to me, but after a little coaxing back in 2013 when I went there to film a haunted getaway, they opened up and they told me some stories you wouldn't believe. And in confidence, a couple of the security guards that worked there back then, when I was filming, said at night, crazy things happen up on the third floor. Doorknobs twisting by themselves, footsteps in the back stairway where no one is because they're there alone. Things like that, but it's all up on the third floor. The housekeeper of George Eastman, affectionately known as Miss Molly, reportedly has been seen. A lady in white hair. And Miss Molly, if you'll see some photographs of her with George Eastman, there's Miss Molly. And she's the housekeeper, and apparently she's still keeping the house in ways that scare people a little bit at night. Miss Molly may be somebody you'd check out when you go visit the George Eastman house, but go for a tour. It's during the day, so you're okay. The George Eastman house is open to tours, and it's a must-see. Definitely with the kids, just great history there. eastmanhouse.org is their website. When you leave the George Eastman house, and if you've experienced any of the spirits, you might be a little drained, so you need to revive your energy. And a great place to do it is at Rock City Grit, another sponsor of our show. Time to get in shape, but wait. This is one-on-one stuff and two-on-one. Personal training sessions plus group HIIT boot camp classes. Rock City Grit, here to assist you on your personal fitness journey. They believe fitness for everyday life is the key. rockcitygrit@gmail.com. Back to Haunted Getaways. I'm Mike O'Brien, the Getaway Guy, and this is Tales of the Getaway Guy, our second episode installment. Are you scared yet? 'Tis the season for real haunted getaways. There's a bed and breakfast not far from the George Eastman house that prides themselves on being a haunted B&B. It's on Argyle Street in the city of Rochester, and it's called the Edward Harris House. I did a getaway back in, what was the year? 2015, something like that. And again, I was shooting my own stuff. The Edward Harris House is a beautiful old bed and breakfast on Argyle Street in the city. Rosemary Suite is one of their rooms. By the way, has a great deal of activity. I won't be sleeping in that room. Local psychics pick up a lot of spirits at the Edward Harris House. Susan, the innkeeper, and I love Susan. She was such a great host for me to come in and film and to shoot the show. You thought I was going to say something else, didn't you? She takes it all in stride, and she laughs. She knows the place is seriously haunted. TVs turning on by themselves, light switches on and off, radio turns on by itself. Things like that going on all the time at the Edward Harris House. And again, she loves it. There are certain people that love to find haunted getaways, and they're finding them at the Edward Harris House, a place that people like to go to all the time if that's what they're looking for, in addition to being a great bed and breakfast. My experience there when I was filming, my batteries in my camera kept running out, like really fast. And if you know anything about haunted getaways and energies and spirits, and I've learned a lot in all the years that I've done the Haunts series, they like to drain your batteries. They really do. Well, my battery all the batteries just kind of drained, like really fast, which was very unusual. They don't go that fast. And Susan, the innkeeper, laughed. She said, because I was doing an interview with her one-on-one as she was sitting on the couch. She laughed. She said, yeah, that's so typical. I had to go back to the studios on Mount Hope Avenue in Rochester, get some new batteries. I was upset because it's like I thought I was totally prepared. The spirits had different plans in mind. And so plugged in the new batteries and finished up the interview. And then I got the heck out of there. But it's a great B&B, so beautifully done, very comfortable, and a few things go bump in the night at the Edward Harris House on Argyle Street, 35 Argyle Street, edwardharrishouse.com. Another great haunted getaway. And after a day of shooting haunts, you want to go home, you don't want to cook, you just want to pick up a pizza and go home and have dinner. And that's where Nino's Pizzeria comes in. Notice the transition, huh? For delicious Sicilian-style pizza, try Nino's on Culver Road in Rochester. A city classic pizza joint. It really is. Takeout only. I've been a regular for Nino's for 40 years. It's the sauce. It's the thick crust. It's the sautéed onions, sautéed red roasted peppers, sautéed mushrooms. No one else does it like this. It's this old-style pizza. At Nino's, 1330 Culver Road near Merchants. I think this may be the best hole-in-the-wall pizzeria in town. Nino's, hands down, my favorite when you're looking for thick Sicilian-style pizza. They're good people there, too. Love it. Here's a question for you, and we take people's questions from the email of MiketheGetawayGuy.com. And one of the questions lately was, have any of your haunted getaways gone wrong? Yes, many. But as far as haunted getaways is concerned, there's a place in East Bethany, New York, west of Rochester, called Rolling Hills Asylum. It's in East Bethany, New York. This place is creepy as it gets. By the way, historical property. It's a historical property that is authentically haunted. So there's great history at Rolling Hills. There really is. But things that happen there, you just can't believe. And when I was there years and years ago filming, something happened up on the third floor that still gives me the creeps today. Rolling Hills Asylum in East Bethany. It's a place where you can go. And at this time, I brought a psychic with me, and she picked up so much. It was just overwhelming what she was picking up. And we experienced some issues there too. And by the way, they do tours this time of year. They do group settings. They do individual tours. You go online to get all that information. They don't sell tickets at the door, but they do sell them. That's a place that a lot of people seek out. And they've been on the Sci-Fi Channel, and everybody goes there. And because the experience is extremely overwhelming if you're into haunted getaways. When I was there with my photographer, Scott Barstow, him and I went up into the place, and it was nighttime, of course it was, and it was dark and it was dank, and there was a lot going on with the psychic with us, Lydia. She was picking up all sorts of stuff. And if you go on their website, you can see a whole lot more about it. And there's the website right there. Is that it, Joe? Yeah. So what is it? Rolling Hills? Asylum.com? RollingHillsAsylum.com. That's where you get tickets. There's where you'll learn a lot. There's where they have some videos that are a little shocking. But when I was there up on the third floor with my photographer, once again, his batteries die. He says, I got to run down to the truck and get more batteries out of the trunk. And so he left me up there on the third floor in the dark by myself. Not good. I'm such a chicken. And I was honestly really scared. I was like, oh my gosh, get back here quick. Finally, he comes back up, plugs in the new batteries. I do my close. That's all we were doing was the open and the close of the show. And I did my close. I've never done filming in one take in my life. That night I did. We got out of there, and I couldn't wait to get out of there. And got back in the truck, came back to Rochester, and then we went into the edit bay at the station on Mount Hope, and we reviewed our footage. And right before the batteries died up on the third floor in the dark, on the footage, I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it. On the footage, the audio, which we didn't hear up there. A voice, a deep voice, said, batteries, batteries. Said it twice. That's when the batteries died. Right? You getting the chills? It really happened. I would not lie to you. And we both like, I remember being in the edit bay, we both sat back really quick and went, oh my gosh. The voice was telling us that the batteries are about to go, and boy did they. So I'm not going back there. By the way, all my haunted getaways, I think 3 or 4 of them, there's 4 of haunted getaways in my book, my travel book. This is my opportunity to show the book. And there it is. By the way, Powers Farm Market on Marsh Road, they carry the book, limited editions, so they don't have a ton of them left, and I signed them all for them, but you can pick it up. But we intentionally put 4 of my favorite haunted getaways in the book, and those will be something that you'll like. A lot of people seek out the book just for that. But boy, that was one scary night in East Bethany, New York. Whoa. Speaking of Powers Market, I want to thank them very much again for being a part of this show. They've made this possible. If you want a good dose of fall, go to Powers Farm Market, Marsh Road in Pittsford. There's so much there for the whole family. This time of year, more bright orange pumpkins than you'll ever see, plus spooky hay rides, live animals, the traditional giant teepees. I just love those. With a few surprises inside. My grandkids love it. They were just there and they were just wide-eyed. There are so many things for the kids. New York State apples, of course, fresh cider, plus a lot of delicious home-baked goods, and the cherry pie is just to die for. The Powers family invites you to come join them for some festival fun. I want to thank Powers for helping to make our show possible. Also, thanks to Rock City Grit, Nino's Pizzeria, and Jim's on Main. And thanks to Joe here at Classy Wolf. We've had a great time. I hope you've enjoyed some of these haunted getaways. Have a happy Halloween if you're listening to this before. If not, those haunted getaways just always are there, no matter what. They just remain timeless. This has been fun. I hope you enjoyed the show. Thanks for coming along for the ride. Remember to subscribe. Find links to our YouTube page and podcast on Facebook. Look for The Getaway Guy. And go to our website, thegetawayguy.com. On the next Tales of the Getaway Guy, I think what we'll do is give you some more fall getaways that you may not have thought of, and we'll do some behind-the-scenes antics of my radio days as well. Until then, until next time, I'm Mike O'Brien, your Getaway Guy.